Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Hub. This is David Miller speaking, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different. Why? Well, because my wonderful co-host, Jessica Martin, or Jess, as you know her, is not here yet. She is running late. Yes, that's right. For an episode about time management, Jess has managed to prove in the very first minute why we really need to talk about this topic. Now, don't worry, she'll be here soon, but while I'm waiting, let me just paint you a picture. I'm sitting here in the studio, it's raining outside, the wind is blowing, and I've got my coffee ready. Everything is cozy. And then, silence. No cheerful, "Hi guys, it's Jess!" No friendly laugh from her, just me, talking to you and wondering if maybe she fell asleep on the bus. You know, this is exactly why I always say having your own car is a lifesaver. If Jess had a car like me, she'd already be here. But no, she likes buses, subways, and taxis, which is fine, except when it's raining in Los Angeles. And if you've ever been here, you know, when it rains, people in LA completely forget how to drive. Traffic stops, chaos begins. So maybe she's out there somewhere, stuck in a taxi, staring at the windshield wipers and thinking, maybe David was right. But let's be fair. Jess is always so cheerful and so full of energy when she arrives that I don't really mind waiting. It's like waiting for sunshine to come into the room. And I'm sure when she walks in, she'll have some very good excuse. Probably something like, "I was reading a book on the subway and missed my stop," or "the bus driver decided to take the scenic route." And you know what? This is actually the perfect example of our topic today, time management, because it shows how life doesn't always go according to plan. You can have the best schedule, the best to-do list, the best intentions, but then a little rain, a little traffic, and boom, you're late. And that's okay. Time management isn't about being perfect. It's about how you handle the surprises. So, while we're waiting for Jess, let me give you a small tip right away. Always plan for the unexpected. Leave a little extra time for things like rain, traffic, or, well, missing your bus. That way, you don't stress out and you still arrive calm and ready. And speaking of calm, let's make this cozy together. Grab your tea, your coffee, maybe a blanket if it's cold where you are. Don't worry, Jess will join us in a moment, and when she does, I'll definitely tease her about being late. She won't escape that one. So sit back, relax, and let me be your friendly company for these first few minutes. No teacher voice, no homework, just us chatting. You can listen while cooking, working out, or hey, maybe while waiting for your own friend who is late. Look who finally decided to join us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the star of today's show, Jessica Martin, also known as Miss Always on Time, except today. Come on, Jess, sit down, don't be shy. We were just talking about you.
I could tell. I heard you already teasing me from the hallway.
Of course. You gave me the best material ever. We're doing an episode about time management, and you arrive late? I mean, how perfect is that? I was telling our listeners that maybe you fell asleep on the bus or took the scenic tour on purpose. And you know what else I said? That if you had your own car like me, you'd be here on time. Instead, here you are, running in from the rain, probably soaked and regretting every second. Seriously, Jess, you're making me look like the organized one for once. That never happens.
Go on, David. Finish your speech. I'm listening.
Oh, don't worry. I've got plenty more. I even gave the listeners a little time management tip while waiting for you. Always plan extra time for surprises, like when your co-host forgets to show up. You see, I was calm, cozy, drinking my coffee, chatting with our audience, and meanwhile you were outside probably fighting with your umbrella.
Okay, David. Are you finished?
For now.
Good, because I have to tell you something. You think I was late, but actually, This was completely planned.
Oh, no. Don't try to make excuses now.
No, I'm serious. Let me explain. When I was a student, I had a time management coach. We were all sitting in class, waiting. 10 minutes passed, 15 minutes passed. The coach was late. Everyone was annoyed. We thought, how can a time management coach be late? That's ridiculous. But then she finally came in and she said, I was late on purpose. Why? To show you how valuable time is, to make you feel it, to remember this lesson forever.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Exactly. So today, I decided to repeat what my coach did years ago. I was in the hall the whole time, just sitting there, waiting, listening to you talk. It wasn't a failure, it was a demonstration, a real lesson for our listeners. Now nobody will never forget this episode because they'll always remember the day when Jess was late.
Oh, wow. So you're telling me you made me sit here and ramble on like a lonely guy talking to his coffee mug just so you could recreate your student life experiment?
Exactly. And it worked perfectly. You had fun, the listeners had fun, and now they will never forget the importance of time.
Jess, you are unbelievable. You had me roasting you for 10 minutes, and the whole time you were sitting out there just letting me do it. That's cruel. Brilliant, but cruel.
Oh, come on. You enjoyed every second of it. And now when we talk about time management, we already have the best story to start with. This is not a mistake. This is a strategy.
A strategy, right. Remind me never to play chess with you. You'd probably let me win 3 games and then tell me, I lost on purpose to teach you humility.
Maybe I would.
Okay, fine. You win. Listeners, you see, this is why I keep her around. She's smart, sneaky, and somehow always manages to turn my teasing into her victory.
Yep, sorry, honey.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's enough. So, Jess, now that you've officially demonstrated the importance of time, let's really dive into today's topic. Why do you think time management is so important right now?
Well, I think the world has changed a lot. Everyone is busy, everyone is connected all the time, and we have so many things happening at once. Work, study, social life, family, health, hobbies. Sometimes it feels like there are never enough hours in the day. So if we don't learn how to manage our time, we can feel stressed, overwhelmed, or just stuck.
Exactly. And especially today, with all the technology, we have constant distractions. Phones buzzing, notifications popping up, social media pulling us in. You sit down to work for 5 minutes, and suddenly it's an hour later, and you're watching cat videos.
Oh, yes, that sounds very familiar, David.
Guilty. But it's true. Time is the only thing we can't get back. Money comes and goes, opportunities come and go, but once an hour is gone, it's gone forever. That's why time management is not just some boring business topic. It's something everyone needs.
And let's be honest, it's not about being a robot who works every second. It's about balance. Good time management means you have time for your responsibilities and time to rest, enjoy, and live.
Well said. You know what, Jess? Let's make this personal. Let's share a couple of stories. Tell me, how are you with time management? Be honest.
Okay. I'll confess. When I was a new university student, I was terrible with time. I used to stay up late, procrastinate, and then rush to finish my assignments at the last minute. One time, I had a huge project due at 9 a.m. I started it at midnight. I was drinking coffee like crazy, typing, panicking, and finally, at 8:59, I ran into the classroom and handed it in. My professor looked at me and said, "Jessica, you look like you just ran a marathon."
Oh, wow. I can totally see that. And knowing you now, all cheerful and organized, it's hard to imagine you in panic mode.
Well, that was a long time ago. Since then, I've learned a lot about planning ahead and not leaving things to the last minute. I'm not perfect, but I'm much better now.
Good for you. Okay, my turn. I'll be honest. My problem isn't procrastination, it's over-scheduling. I think I can do everything. I look at my calendar and say, sure, I can meet a friend for lunch, then record a podcast, then go to the gym, then do some work, then drive across town for dinner, and then by the evening, I'm exhausted, and I realize I've spent half the day stuck in traffic.
That sounds exactly like you, David. You always want to do too much.
I know. So the lesson I've been learning is sometimes you have to say no. Good time management is not only about planning, it's also about choosing. You can't do everything.
That's a great point. And I think our listeners can probably recognize themselves in these stories. Some people procrastinate, some people overschedule, some people just get lost in distractions. That's why time management is so universal.
Yes, and today we'll share some simple tips and tricks, but more importantly, we'll share how to think about time in a healthy way. No pressure, no guilt, just small steps that make life easier.
Exactly. And let's be honest, if you're listening to us right now while you're cooking or working or studying, congratulations, you're already practicing good time management. You're learning English and relaxing at the same time. That's smart multitasking. So stick with us, grab another coffee or tea, and let's talk about how to make time your friend instead of your enemy.
All right, Jess, let's start from the basics. We've said the word time management about 20 times already, but what does it actually mean?
Good question. And let me keep it very simple. Time management is just the way you use your time. That's it. It's how you organize your day so that you can do what you need to do and also what you want to do.
Exactly. It's not some complicated science. It's just about making choices. And I love that you said need and want, because if you only do the things you need to do, life gets boring. And if you only do what you want to do, well, your fridge will be empty and your boss will fire you.
True. So it's about balance. But you know, David, there are a lot of myths about time management.
Oh, yes. Let's break some of them.
Okay, myth number 1, you have to do everything and finish everything. People think good time management means you somehow magically fit 30 hours into a 24-hour day, but that's impossible. No one can do everything.
Right. And honestly, sometimes you shouldn't even try. I mean, I used to think I had to accept every invitation, every opportunity, every task, but then I realized saying no is also time management. Choosing is managing.
Yes. And myth number 2, time management is only for business people in suits with big calendars.
I can see that stereotype. A businessman in a tall office looking at his watch every second.
But no! Time management is for students, parents, teachers, workers, everyone, even kids in a way, when they balance school and play.
Totally. I mean, even for language learners listening to us right now, if you decide to listen to this podcast while cooking or commuting, that's already a little piece of time management. You found a way to combine two activities.
Exactly. And myth number 3, time management means planning every minute of your day. Some people imagine a schedule like 7:02, wake up, 7:04, brush teeth, 7:06, drink water. That would drive me crazy.
Oh my gosh, yes. Imagine living with a stopwatch in your hand. Sorry, can't talk. It's 8:13 and I must answer emails for exactly 17 minutes.
That's not healthy. Real time management is about structure, not prison. It's about having an idea of what matters today, not planning every single second.
So that brings us to something important, the role of discipline and flexibility.
Yes, you do need some discipline, like deciding to study for 30 minutes instead of scrolling on Instagram. But you also need flexibility, because sometimes life surprises you. Traffic, rain, a sick child, or a spontaneous dinner with a friend.
Exactly. If you're too strict, you get stressed. If you're too flexible, you never finish anything. The secret is to mix both.
I call it organized freedom. You know what you want to do today, but you're open to small changes.
I like that, organized freedom. It sounds like a lifestyle brand.
Maybe we should trademark it.
Listeners, remember this. Time management isn't about being perfect, it's about being practical. Do what works for you. Keep some structure and leave space for surprises.
Yes, and don't forget to live. The goal isn't just to manage time, it's to enjoy time.
All right, Jess, we talked about the basics of time management, but now let's go a little deeper. Let's talk about the psychology of time. Why do people struggle with it so much?
Yes, let's do it. First, let's talk about procrastination. That's the fancy word for delaying or postponing something. Why do we procrastinate? Simple. Our brain likes pleasure now and pain later.
Yes. Like, I'll watch one more episode now, and future me will write the report at midnight.
Exactly. Or I'll scroll on my phone now and future me will clean the kitchen. The brain always looks for the easy and fun thing first, and it tries to escape from the difficult or boring task.
So, basically, procrastination is us being bad friends to our future selves.
Yes, that's a good way to say it.
Okay, now what about this important versus urgent thing you always talk about?
The Eisenhower matrix. It sounds complicated, but it's really simple. Imagine a box with 4 squares. On one side, you have urgent and not urgent. On the other side, you have important and not important. Every task in life goes into one of these 4 boxes.
Okay, I see. So, urgent and important means...
Something like a deadline or a medical emergency. You must do it now. Urgent but not important. That's things like phone calls, emails, notifications. They feel urgent, but they're not always truly important. Important but not urgent. That's things like learning English, exercising, building relationships. These are the things that make life better long term, but we often ignore them because they're not screaming for attention. And finally, not important, not urgent, Netflix marathons.
Hey, don't attack Netflix. But yes, I get it. So smart time management means spend more time on the important but not urgent things instead of only reacting to urgent stuff.
Exactly. That's where real progress happens.
Okay, but Jess, here's something I always feel. I don't have enough time. I hear people say, I wish the day had 30 hours. Why do we always feel that?
The feeling of not enough time. It usually comes from 2 things. First, we sometimes overfill our schedules, like you do, David.
Guilty?
And second, we don't always realize where our time goes. We waste little pieces here and there, 5 minutes on the phone, 10 minutes talking about nothing, 15 minutes looking for keys, and suddenly 1 hour is gone.
Oh, yes. That's like when you open Instagram just for a minute, and then suddenly the sun has gone down.
Exactly. That's why sometimes keeping a small diary of time, even for 1 day, is so shocking. You see where it all disappears.
Wow, that's true. And you know what else? Time is the most valuable resource we have.
Yes, more valuable than money.
Because money you can lose and then earn again. But time? Once you spend it, it's gone forever. No refunds.
Right. That's why people say, don't just spend time, invest it. Think, am I using this hour in a way that gives me value, happiness, or growth? Or am I just wasting it?
I love that idea. Time is life's currency. And the price is very high.
Exactly. So friends, remember, procrastination is natural. Urgent versus important helps you choose. And time is the most precious resource. If you treat it well, you'll feel more calm, more free, and more happy.
Beautifully said, Jess. Okay, let's not waste our time. Shall we give our listeners some practical tips they can use right after this podcast?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, Jess, let's get practical now. We've talked about psychology, but how do we actually plan our day?
Good question. One of my favorite techniques is morning planning and evening reflection. Basically, in the morning, you take 5 minutes to decide what's important today. And in the evening, you take 5 minutes to look back. What did I do? What did I learn? What can I do better tomorrow?
I like that. Morning is for planning, evening is for reflection. It's like brushing your teeth, once in the morning and once at night.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be long. Just a few minutes can change your whole day.
Okay, but here's another trick I heard. The rule of 3. Can you explain it?
Yes, the rule of 3 is very simple. Every morning, choose your 3 main tasks. Only 3, not 10, not 20. If you finish those 3, the day is already successful.
Oh, I love that. Because my to-do lists usually look like 1. Buy groceries. 2. Record podcast. 3. Save the world.
Yes, David, you always think too big. But for most people, focusing on 3 important things keeps the day realistic. It stops you from feeling overwhelmed.
Speaking of to-do lists, let's talk about them. They can be both amazing and dangerous, right?
Yes. Plus side, to-do lists help you remember and organize. Minus side, sometimes people write 20 things and then feel guilty when they only finish 5.
Oh, yes, that's me. I write a list so long it looks like a shopping list for a family of 10.
Yes, David. And then you feel bad, even though you actually did a lot. So, listeners, here's the trick. Keep your to-do list short and realistic. Use it as a guide, not as a punishment.
I like that. And finally, the calendar. Some people only use it for birthdays, but it can be a really powerful tool.
Yes, a calendar is not just for big events. You can block time for studying, for exercise, even for rest. For example, Saturday morning, 2 hours for English practice. When you write it in the calendar, it feels more real, more official.
That's true. When something is in my calendar, I treat it like a meeting, even if the meeting is just with myself.
Exactly. It gives structure, and structure gives freedom. Because then you don't spend energy asking, what should I do now? You already know.
So friends, let's summarize this part. 1. Morning planning and evening reflection. 2. The rule of 3. 3. To-do lists are great, but keep them short. 4. Use your calendar like a friend, not just a decoration.
Perfect. And remember, planning doesn't have to be boring. It's just a way to make your day smoother and give yourself more space for fun.
Yes, more planning equals more free time for Netflix.
Or maybe for reading a good book, David.
Or both. Okay, Jess, we've covered daily planning, to-do lists, calendars, but let's zoom out now, because time management isn't only about one day. It's also about the bigger picture.
Yes, exactly. That's where long-term planning comes in. I always tell my students, if you only live day by day, it's like driving a car with no map. Maybe you'll move, maybe you'll even move fast, but where are you going?
That's a good point. You might end up in Las Vegas when you actually wanted to go to San Diego.
Yes, exactly. So we need a vision, a sense of direction. And that's where goal-setting methods come in, like SMART goals.
Ah, yes, SMART. That's one of those acronyms people love. Can you remind us what it means?
Of course. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. In simple words, don't just say, I want to be better at English. That's too vague. A SMART goal is, I want to reach B2 level by December by studying 3 times a week.
I like that because it gives you a clear picture. Like instead of saying, I want to get fit, you say, I will go jogging for 30 minutes 3 times a week for the next 2 months.
Exactly. And then there's another system, OKR. That stands for Objectives and Key Results. It's more popular in companies, but we can also use it in personal life.
How does that work?
So first, you set an objective, something inspiring, big picture. For example, I want to live a healthier lifestyle. Then you define key results, concrete ways to measure progress. For example, lose 5 kilos, run 10 kilometers without stopping, cook healthy dinners 3 times a week. The idea is the objective gives you motivation, and the key results keep you accountable.
That makes sense. I think I naturally use that sometimes, like when I tell myself, objective, be a better podcast host. Key results, prepare topics in advance, make Jess laugh at least 5 times per episode, and try not to interrupt her.
That's actually a perfect OKR, David.
See, I'm secretly organized.
Secretly, yes.
Okay, so that's goals. But what about time frames? Like, should we plan daily, weekly, monthly? What's the right balance?
I'd say all of them, but in different ways. Daily planning is very detailed. Weekly planning is more about priorities, like what do I want to finish by Sunday? Monthly planning helps you see the bigger projects, like what's my focus this month? And yearly planning is about vision, like where do I want to be by the end of this year?
So it's like different zoom levels on a map. One day is street view, 1 year is the satellite view.
Yes, that's a great metaphor, David. You need both. If you only look at today, you might miss your long-term direction. If you only look at the year, you might forget to actually do something today.
That's so true. And speaking of years, what about life vision? That sounds scary.
It doesn't have to be scary. Life vision just means what kind of life do you want to live? What are your top priorities? For example, is career your number one focus, or family, or creativity, or travel?
Oh, I see. It's like choosing the theme of your life, and then your goals support that theme.
Exactly. If you don't know your vision, you might work really hard but climb the wrong ladder.
Ouch, that's a bit painful to hear.
But true.
And finally, balance, work and personal life. We live in a culture where people sometimes think success means working 12 hours a day, but real success includes rest, relationships, and joy.
Yes. Otherwise, what's the point? Imagine you make lots of money, but you never see your family, never laugh with friends, never take a walk. That's not life. That's just surviving.
Exactly. And balance doesn't mean 50-50 every day. Some days you'll focus more on work, other days more on personal life. But overall, across weeks and months, you want to feel harmony.
You know, David, I think balance is like a dance. Sometimes you step left, sometimes right, but overall, the music keeps going.
That's a beautiful image, Jess. Maybe you should write poetry about time management.
Coming soon, The Time Manager's Tango.
I would read that. So, friends, remember, set goals that are clear and realistic, plan for different time frames, think about your vision, and never forget balance. Because time is not just for work, it's for living. All right, Jess, now we've covered big picture planning. Let's go to something really practical, because people are probably asking, okay, but what can I actually do tomorrow morning to manage my time better?
Yes, exactly. There are some famous time management techniques. Some of them sound a bit funny, but they really work. Let's start with my favorite, the Pomodoro technique.
Pomodoro. Wait, isn't that Italian for tomato?
Yes, exactly. The inventor was an Italian student, and he used a kitchen timer in the shape of a tomato while studying. The idea is very simple. You work for 25 minutes, then you take a 5-minute break. After 4 of these Pomodoros, you take a longer break, maybe 20 to 30 minutes.
So basically, focus, break,
focus, break, like gym sets, but for your brain.
Yes! It helps because our brain can't stay super focused for hours, but 25 minutes feels short and manageable. Even if you hate a task, you can think, okay, I can do this for 25 minutes.
I use that sometimes without realizing it. Like when I'm editing audio, I'll tell myself, just 20 minutes, David, don't get distracted. And usually after that, I've got some momentum and I continue.
Exactly. It's great for beating procrastination.
Okay, next one, GTD, getting things done. Sounds very serious.
Yes, GTD is a whole system created by David Allen. The main idea is our brain is not for storage, it's for thinking. So you write everything down, tasks, ideas, reminders, and organize them into lists and categories.
So instead of walking around with 50 things in your head, you put them in a system.
Yes. For example, you have a list for next actions, a list for projects, a list for someday maybe. Then your brain feels lighter because you don't worry about forgetting things.
I should really try that. Because sometimes I wake up at 3 a.m. thinking, did I pay that bill? Did I answer that email?
Exactly. If you had GTD, you would already have it written down, and your brain could relax.
Okay, next method, time blocking. That one I know because I actually do it.
Oh, really? Tell us.
So instead of just making a to-do list, I put things into my calendar. For example, 10 to 11 a.m., record podcast. 11 to 12, edit. 12 to 1, lunch. So I block time for each task.
That's great. Time blocking helps you see if your plan is realistic. Sometimes people write a to-do list with 20 tasks, but in reality, there are only 8 hours in a workday.
Exactly. When you put tasks into the calendar, you suddenly realize, oops, my list is too big for today.
And also, time blocking reduces distractions because you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing right now.
Yes, unless Jess calls me in the middle of the day like, David, come have coffee.
Hey, coffee breaks are important too.
Okay, next, the Pareto principle, also called the 80-20 rule. I like this one.
Yes, it says that 80% of results come from 20% of efforts. In other words, a small part of what you do gives you most of your success.
Like in podcasting, maybe 20% of our jokes give 80% of the laughs.
Probably true. But seriously, the idea is focus on the tasks that really matter. If you identify the 20% of activities that give the best results, you can save a lot of time.
Yes, that's powerful, because we often waste energy on small details that don't change much.
Exactly.
And finally, eat that frog. This one sounds not very delicious.
Yes, it's a metaphor from Brian Tracy. The frog is your hardest, most unpleasant task. The advice is do it first thing in the morning.
So don't check Instagram, don't clean your desk, don't answer small emails, just face the frog.
Yes, because if you finish the hardest thing early, the rest of your day feels easier.
Makes sense. For me, the frog is usually paperwork.
For me, it's sometimes grading huge stacks of student essays.
Yeah, that's a big frog.
But once you do it, you feel free, and you don't spend the whole day worrying about it.
Exactly.
So friends, these are 5 popular methods: Pomodoro, GTD, time blocking, Pareto 80-20, and eat that frog. You don't need to use them all at once. Try 1 or 2 and see what works for you.
Yes, and remember, time management is not about being a robot. It's about using tools to make your life easier, not
Exactly.
harder. And sometimes, you know what? The best time management tool is just saying, no, thank you. I need to rest.
Yes, that too. All right, friends, now it's my turn to open the next part. We've talked about methods and techniques, but let's be honest, in our everyday life, many of us need tools to actually apply them. And in 2025, tools usually mean apps.
Ah, yes, the magical rectangle in your pocket that controls your whole life.
Exactly. But it doesn't have to control you. It can help you. For example, some of the most popular apps are Todoist, Notion, Trello, and of course, Google Calendar.
I actually use Google Calendar a lot. I think if I didn't, I'd probably forget half of our recordings.
That's true. With Google Calendar, you can set reminders, color-code events, and even share your calendar with someone else. Very useful if you work in a team or if you have a forgetful podcast partner.
Hey, I'm not forgetful. I just, creatively flexible with my schedule.
That's a good one. Anyway, Todoist is great if you like simple task lists. You can write tasks, set deadlines, even add priorities. It's very clean and easy.
I tried Todoist once, but then I forgot to open it. But
Well, yes, the best tool is the one you actually use. Then there's Trello. Trello is like a big whiteboard with sticky notes, but digital. You can move tasks from to do to doing to done.
I like that because it feels like progress. Moving a card to done is so satisfying.
Yes, and then Notion. Notion is like the Swiss Army knife of productivity. You can make notes, databases, calendars, reading lists, habit trackers, almost anything.
I think Notion is too powerful for me. It's like giving me a spaceship when all I need is a bicycle.
True, Notion can be overwhelming if you only need something simple. But for people who love organizing, it's amazing.
Okay, but not everyone likes apps. What about old school timers?
Yes, there are also special timers and time trackers. For example, Rescue Time and Toggle. Rescue Time runs in the background on your computer and tells you how much time you spend on different websites or apps.
Oh, no. I don't want to know that. It will probably say, David, you spent 2 hours watching cat videos.
Maybe, but it's useful because sometimes we don't realize where our time goes. Toggle is another tool. You start and stop a timer whenever you begin a task. Then you see exactly how long it took.
That could be dangerous. Imagine I start Toggle for checking social media, and after 1 hour, I'm still scrolling.
That's exactly why these trackers exist, to help us face the truth.
Okay, but Jess, I have to ask, what if someone doesn't like digital stuff at all?
Great question. Some people prefer paper planners and journals, and honestly, I love them too. Writing things down with a pen can feel calming, almost like a ritual. You can use a simple notebook, a bullet journal, or a fancy planner with daily, weekly, monthly pages.
Yes, I think writing by hand makes tasks feel more real. Also, I love crossing things out.
Me too. It gives such a nice sense of achievement. And you don't have to worry about apps crashing or your phone battery dying.
That's true. A notebook never needs charging, unless you spill coffee on it.
Exactly. So digital apps, time trackers, and paper planners all are useful. The important thing is not which tool you use, but that you actually use it consistently.
Yes, because even the best app won't manage your time for you. It's still your responsibility.
Right. Tools are like helpers, but you are the manager.
That sounds very powerful, Jess. Like we're CEOs of our own time.
Exactly. And every CEO needs the right assistance.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And, Jess, when people hear productivity, they often imagine something big, like working 10 hours straight or finishing a huge project in one day. But in reality, productivity is often about small steps.
Yes, the power of small steps is amazing. If you do just 1% better every day, after 1 year, the difference is huge. People usually overestimate what they can do in 1 day and underestimate what they can do in 1 year.
That's so true. For example, I once tried to read a whole book in 1 weekend. I failed. But then I said, okay, just 10 pages a day. And in 1 month, I finished 3 books.
See? That's exactly how small steps work. And one of the best ways to build small steps is with routines, morning and evening routines.
Yes, routines are powerful. My morning routine is very simple. Coffee first, then I can function.
That's a classic. But seriously, a morning routine sets the tone for the day. For example, some people like to exercise, others write a short plan for the day, or even do a short meditation.
And the evening routine helps you close the day. I usually check my calendar for tomorrow, maybe write a few notes. Sometimes I just think, what was good about today? It makes me feel calmer.
That's beautiful, David. Evening routines help the brain understand work is over, now it's time to rest. And sleep is a big part of productivity too.
Yes, absolutely. You can't manage time well if you're always tired.
And that's where habits come in. Do you know how habits are formed?
Yes, they say it's like a loop. Cue, action, reward. For example, you wake up, cue, you drink coffee, action, you feel awake, reward. That's why it becomes automatic.
Exactly. If you repeat the same action in the same situation many times, your brain saves energy and makes it automatic. That's why good habits make life easier. And bad habits, well, make life harder.
Like checking my phone every 5 minutes? That's a bad habit.
Yes, but you can replace it. And one great method is called habit stacking.
Oh, I love that one. It means you connect a new habit to an old one, right?
Yes. For example, if you already brush your teeth every morning, you can stack a new habit. After brushing, you write one sentence in English. Or after making coffee, you spend 5 minutes planning your day.
That's brilliant because you don't need to remember separately. The old habit reminds you of the new one.
Exactly. It's like attaching a wagon to a train. The train is already moving, and the wagon just goes with it.
Nice image, Jess. I think I'll try that. Maybe after I put my keys on the table when I come home, I'll drink a glass of water because I always forget to drink enough water.
That's a perfect example. Small, automatic, and healthy.
So friends, productivity is not about doing everything at once. It's about building small steps, having simple routines, and creating good habits that support you every day.
Yes. And remember, habits are like investments. At first, they look small, but after months and years, they give the biggest results.
Wow, Jess, that was deep.
Well, I'm a teacher. I can't help it.
All right, Jess, now it's time for the big monster of time management, procrastination.
Oh, yes, the dragon that lives in everyone's house.
Exactly. You know, it's funny. People think procrastination means I'm lazy. But actually, most people who procrastinate are not lazy at all. They're just avoiding something.
Yes, procrastination usually happens for 3 reasons. Either the task feels too big, too boring, or too scary.
That's true. Like when I had to clean my garage last month. It felt so big. I looked inside, saw all the boxes, and thought, nope, not today.
Exactly. And sometimes we delay things because they're boring. For example, filling out forms, doing paperwork.
Ugh, no, don't remind me. That's my personal nightmare.
And finally, fear. We sometimes delay because we're afraid of making mistakes, or failing, or not being perfect.
Yes, like students who don't start writing their essay because they think, what if it's not good enough?
Exactly. So the first step is to understand why you're procrastinating.
Okay, but let's say we already know we're procrastinating. How do we actually start?
One great trick is the 5-minute start. You tell yourself, I'll do this task for just 5 minutes, then I can stop if I want.
Oh, I love that. Because 5 minutes feels so small, even my lazy side says, okay, fine.
Exactly. And usually after 5 minutes, you already have momentum and you continue.
Yes, I once used this for writing an email I was avoiding and said, just 5 minutes, and then 30 minutes later, the email was finished and my inbox was clean.
See, it works. Another method is to break the big task into very small steps. Instead of clean the garage, you say, okay, today I will only move the empty boxes.
Yes, that feels less scary, like fighting the dragon piece by piece instead of all at once.
Exactly. And the last ingredient is motivation, rewards.
Oh, I like this part.
Of course you do. The idea is, after finishing a task, give yourself a small reward. Maybe a cup of coffee, maybe 10 minutes of YouTube, maybe a walk outside.
Yes, that's powerful because your brain starts to connect. Task equals reward, and then it's easier to do it next time.
Exactly. But remember, the reward should come after the tasks, not before.
Yes, because if you eat the take first, the task never happens.
Right.
So, friends, procrastination is normal. Everybody does it, but we can fight it with small tricks. understand why we're avoiding, start with just 5 minutes, break things down, and use rewards.
Yes, and don't forget to be kind to yourself. Beating procrastination is not about guilt. It's about finding gentle ways to begin.
That's beautiful, Jess. Gentle beginnings. I think I'll procrastinate less just after hearing you.
We'll see, David. We'll see.
You know, Jess, the more we talk about time management, the more I realize sometimes it's not really about time.
Yes, you're so right. It's about energy management. Because we all have 24 hours in a day, but our energy level is different.
Exactly. Like me, at 7 a.m. before coffee, I'm basically a zombie.
Yes, I can confirm. But after coffee, you're suddenly alive and funny. That's why knowing your biorhythms is so important. Some people are morning birds, others are night owls.
Yes, I think I'm more of a confused pigeon.
Oh, David. But seriously, if you know when your brain works best, you can plan difficult tasks for that time. For example, if you're sharp in the morning, use mornings for studying or creative work. Leave easier things like emails for later.
Yes, that's smart. I usually edit our podcast in the late afternoon when I don't need so much creativity, just patience.
Exactly. But energy is not only about time of day. It also depends on how we take care of our body. Sleep, food, and exercise.
Oh yes, sleep is huge. When I don't sleep enough, I can drink 3 coffees and still feel slow.
Same here. Good sleep is like charging your phone. If you charge only 30%, you'll run out very fast.
And food too. If I eat a giant pizza for lunch, I want to take a nap, not work.
Yes. Healthy food gives steady energy. Heavy or sugary food gives a quick boost and then a crash.
And exercise. I always notice I feel better when I do even a short walk.
Yes. You don't need to be a professional athlete. Just moving your body keeps your energy up. Even 10 minutes of stretching can change your mood.
Okay, but here's my favorite part. Breaks and rest. People think rest is wasting time, but actually rest is part of time management.
Absolutely. If you don't take breaks, your brain gets slower and slower. Even 5 minutes of rest can refresh your mind.
Yes, sometimes I just step outside, breathe fresh air, and suddenly I can focus again.
Exactly. That's why methods like Pomodoro work, because they include breaks. Rest is not a luxury, it's a tool.
I like that. Rest is a tool. Maybe we should write it on a poster.
Yes. Take a break. It's professional.
Perfect slogan.
So friends, remember, time management is not just about clocks and calendars. It's also about your energy. Respect your rhythms, sleep well, eat wisely, move your body, and don't forget to rest.
Because if you manage your energy, your hours become much more powerful.
Exactly.
Okay, Jess, we've talked about all these great techniques and tips, but let's be honest. People, including me, don't always do time management perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. Even teachers and coaches make mistakes. And I think it's important to talk about them because sometimes we feel guilty, but really, it's just human.
Yes, so mistake number 1, over-planning. You know, when you spend more time making a perfect plan than actually doing anything.
Yes, that's a classic. I once had a student who bought 3 planners, color markers, stickers, and spent hours decorating his schedule, but then forgot to actually study English.
Oh, I know that type. Sometimes I also write a super detailed to-do list, and by the time I finish writing, I'm too tired to start.
Yes, that's the danger. Planning is important, but action is even more important. Better a simple plan with action than a perfect plan with nothing.
Exactly. Okay, mistake number 2, perfectionism. Oh boy, that's me sometimes.
I believe that. Perfectionism means you want everything to be 100%. But life is not always like that. Sometimes 80% is good enough.
Yes, like when we record this podcast. If I waited until every sentence was perfect, we'd still be on episode 1.
True. And perfectionism often makes you slower or stops you completely. It's better to finish something good than to never finish because you want it perfect.
Yes, I have to remember that. Okay, mistake number 3, lack of flexibility.
Oh, that's a big one. People sometimes make a plan like it's a military order, but life is unpredictable. Traffic, kids, weather, even just mood.
Yes, like when you were late at the beginning of this episode.
Yes, exactly. If your plan doesn't allow flexibility, you'll always feel like you failed. A good plan is like a map, but you can change the road if needed.
I like that. A GPS can recalculate when you take a wrong turn. Your plan should do the same.
Perfect metaphor, David.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, mistake number 4, confusing priorities.
Yes, this one is common. People sometimes spend hours on small, easy tasks, like answering emails, and avoid the big, important tasks.
Yes, it feels good to check 10 little things off your list, but actually, the one big thing would make the real difference.
Exactly. That's why tools like the Eisenhower matrix are so useful to separate urgent from importance.
Yes, because sometimes urgent is not really important. Like, your phone notification is urgent, but not important.
Yes, and important things like health, learning, relationships, they're often not urgent, so we forget them.
It's so true. So friends, don't fall into these traps. Don't overplan, don't be a perfectionist, don't be too rigid, and don't confuse your priorities.
Yes, time management is not about doing everything perfectly. It's about finding balance and moving forward step by step.
Exactly. And if you make mistakes, don't worry. We all do. Just learn and adjust.
And maybe laugh about it like we do.
Absolutely.
Okay, Jess, I think people often imagine time management only in the office. You know, a guy in a suit with a calendar and 100 meetings. But actually, time management is everywhere.
Yes, exactly. Let's start with the office because that's the classic one. In an office job, time management is about handling meetings, deadlines, emails, all those little monsters.
Yes, monsters is the right word. I remember when I worked in an office, I had so many meetings that I sometimes thought, when do I actually work?
Yes, that's why good time managers at work try to block focus time in the calendar. For example, 9 to 11 a.m., no meetings, only deep work.
Right, like in the movie The Intern with Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. Do you remember how Anne Hathaway's character was running a startup and her schedule was completely crazy?
Oh yes, she was answering emails at midnight, then rushing to meetings at 7 a.m., no balance at all. That's a great example. In a startup, time management is survival. You can't do everything, so you must choose the most important.
Yes. And sometimes in startups, people work 16 hours a day. But smart founders know it's not sustainable. Burnout is real.
Exactly. Okay, now students. At school or university, time management is super important too. I remember when I was a student, I had lectures, homework, part-time work, and also wanted to have fun with friends.
Let me guess, Jess, you had color-coded notebooks and a perfect schedule.
Maybe a little, but even then, I sometimes left assignments to the last night. Procrastination is strong.
Yes, I did that too. Like in the movie Legally Blonde. Remember how Elle Woods had to manage law school, social life, and a lot of study? She learned that smart planning gave her an advantage.
Yes, that's perfect. Students think I have time later, but later suddenly becomes exam week. Time management here means not only studying regularly, but also resting. Otherwise, your brain just explodes.
Exactly. Now, personal life, people often forget that time management is also about hobbies, family, friends.
Yes, if you don't plan, you might spend all weekend on your phone and then regret you didn't call your parents or go out with friends.
Yes, for me, I always try to plan at least one social activity in my week. Otherwise, I get lost in work and Netflix.
That's a modern problem, but it's true. Even small rituals like Sunday dinner with family can be protected time. It's not only about productivity, it's about life quality.
Yes, and hobbies too. If you want to learn guitar, write, paint, you need to schedule it. Otherwise, it never happens.
Right. I love the example from the movie Julia and Julia, where Julia planned to cook one recipe from Julia Child's book every day for a year. That was time management plus hobby, and it changed her life.
Yes, great example. Finally, let's talk about leaders and managers. For them, time management is different.
Yes, the key word here is delegation. If you're a leader, you cannot and should not do everything yourself.
Yes, I remember the movie The Devil Wears Prada. Meryl Streep's character, Miranda Priestley, was a master of delegation. Maybe a little scary, but she used assistants for everything.
True. She could focus on big decisions because she didn't waste time on small tasks. Good leaders empower their team to take responsibility.
Yes, exactly. Delegation is not being lazy, it's being smart. Because your time is limited, but when you share tasks, the whole team grows.
Yes. So, dear listeners, remember, time management is not only for offices. It's for students, families, leaders, and for you. Whatever your life looks like, managing your time means managing your life.
And maybe watching fewer Netflix episodes at night.
Yes, David, start with that.
Jess, you know what's funny? Time management isn't the same everywhere. Different countries, different rules.
Oh, yes, cultural differences are huge. For example, in Germany, if you arrive 5 minutes late, people already look worried. Are you okay? Did something happen?
Yes, Germans are famous for punctuality. If the train is 2 minutes late, there's already a national crisis.
Exactly. Meanwhile, in Spain or Italy, being 10 or even 20 minutes late is almost normal. It's part of the culture.
Yes, I once had a meeting with an Italian friend. I arrived at 2 p.m. sharp. He came at 2:30, smiling, saying, "David, relax. Life is beautiful."
Oh, I know this so well. And in Latin America, it's the same. If you invite people at 6, they arrive at 7. They even have a freeze. Latin time.
Yes, and compare that with Japan. In Japan, being late is almost unthinkable. Trains arrive on the second. Sometimes, if a train is 30 seconds late, the company writes an official apology.
Yes, that's true. Imagine that in Los Angeles, the subway late by 30 seconds. People would say, wow, that's on time today.
Oh, yes. Here, we sometimes celebrate if the bus comes only 5 minutes late.
So you see, punctuality depends a lot on culture, and it also depends on lifestyle. For example, in big cities like New York or London, time is money. People walk fast, drink coffee fast, talk fast.
Yes, I was in New York once, and if you stop on the sidewalk to check your phone, people already push you. Move, man, move!
Yes, in contrast, in small towns or villages, people are more relaxed. The bus comes when it comes.
Exactly. So the big question is, can we really be punctual?
I think it's possible, but it depends on what punctual means in your culture. For some, it's 5 minutes early. For others, it's within half an hour.
Yes. And also, let's be honest, sometimes it depends on personality. Some people are always early, some people are always late.
Yes, like us. You with your car, and me with my bus adventures.
True. But see, that's why communication is important. If you're going to be late, just tell people. That's also part of time management.
Yes, respect for time is respect for people. But also, a little flexibility is human. Sometimes traffic, weather, or life just happens.
Exactly. So listeners, remember, don't stress too much if your culture is more relaxed with time, but also don't be angry if others are stricter. Just understand the differences.
Yes, and maybe laugh about it. Time is serious, but also funny.
Like us, waiting for Jess at the beginning of this episode.
Oh, David, I'll never hear the end of that. David, we've talked a lot about time today, but what about the future? How will time management change with AI and all the new technology?
Oh, that's a great question. Honestly, I already feel like AI is my little assistant. I mean, it reminds me of meetings, organizes my emails, even suggests when I should take a break.
Yes, and it's only the beginning. Imagine, in the future, AI could look at your energy levels, your calendar, your goals, and then say, Jessica, now is the perfect time to study Italian. And David, maybe no more pizza for lunch. Go take a nap.
Oh no, I don't want AI to control my pizza. But yes, it's true, technology will probably know us better than we know ourselves.
Yes, but here's the interesting part. Will we actually save time or just fill it with more things?
Oh, good point. Like now, we have washing machines, dishwashers, smartphones, and yet people say they're busier than ever.
Exactly. That shows that saving time doesn't always mean feeling like you have time. It's about how you use it.
Yes, and maybe in the future, time will be even more valuable. Think about it. Money you can always earn again, but time? Never. 1 hour lost is gone forever.
Yes, that's why many people already say time is the new gold. In the future, I think more and more people will protect their time just like money.
That's true. Maybe companies will even pay employees with time credits. Like, congratulations, you worked hard, here's a free Friday.
I love that idea. Instead of a bonus, give me a holiday.
Exactly. And the big question, can we reach real work-life balance in the world of AI?
I think it's possible, but only if we learn to say no. AI can help us optimize tasks, but we humans must choose what's truly important.
Yes, machines can't decide what gives us joy. Family, hobbies, friendship, that's our job.
Exactly. Work-life balance won't come automatically, even with the smartest technology. It's a human choice.
So maybe the future of time management is not only about AI, but also about wisdom, knowing when to stop working, when to rest, when to live.
Yes. And if AI can remind us, hey, go hug your kids, call your mom, take a walk, then I'm all for it.
Imagine, David, step away from the pizza, call your mom.
Yes, that's the AI I want.
So, friends, the future of time management will bring amazing tools. But in the end, it's still about the same thing, using your hours wisely because time is the one resource we'll never get back.
Yes, whether it's today or in 50 years, time is life. So let's respect it, enjoy it, and manage it with both brains and hearts.
All right, friends, before we go, we have a little challenge for you. Yes, a fun one.
Oh yes, this is going to be good.
We want you to write a comment about the most important time you were late for something. Maybe it was an exam, a job interview, a date, or even a big party.
Yes. And don't be shy. We love funny stories. For example, someone here once missed his exam when he was a student because he overslept.
Hey, it was our secret. But okay, yep, that was a very important exam, and it was completely my fault.
And me, I always miss my bus. It's like my personal superpower. No matter what time I leave, the bus magically leaves 5 minutes before I arrive.
So now it's your turn, listeners. Tell us your funniest, most stressful, or even embarrassing being late story in the comments below. We want to laugh and cry with you. Mostly laugh, of course.
Yes, and while you're at it, don't forget to like this episode if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss our cozy, friendly podcasts.
Exactly. Join our little time-managing family, and maybe next time you'll learn some tricks so you don't miss your exam or your bus.
Yes, can't wait to read your stories. And remember, being late happens to the best of us. Just share it and laugh.
Wow, Jess, what a journey. We talked about so many things today, from small steps and daily routines to long-term planning, habits, energy management, and even the future with AI.
Yes, and I hope our listeners feel inspired. Remember, time management is not about being perfect. It's about understanding your priorities, using tools and techniques, and taking care of your energy.
Exactly. And here's my personal tip, my little life hack. Every evening, I write just 3 main tasks for tomorrow. That's it. Not 20, not 50, just 3. And somehow, those 3 tasks always make my day feel productive.
I love that. Simple and powerful. And my tip is, if you struggle to start a task, try the 5-minute rule. Just begin for 5 minutes. Usually, you continue automatically.
Yes, and listeners, you don't have to try everything at once. Pick one technique today, maybe Pomodoro or time blocking, or writing your 3 tasks. Just one. Start small.
Exactly. The key is action, not perfect planning. And remember, it's okay to laugh at yourself, be flexible, and celebrate small wins.
Yes, even if your small win is just showing up on time, like me, waiting for Jess at the studio.
That's a classic. So friends, thank you for spending this cozy, rainy hour with us. Grab your coffee, tea, or whatever you like, and start using at least one tip from today.
Yes, and don't forget, we're your friendly company, not your strict teachers. So you can listen while cooking or walking or even relaxing on the sofa. Background English is great too.
And a little teaser for next time, in our next episode, we'll talk about creative productivity and inspiration, how to generate ideas, stay motivated, and turn creativity into action.
Oh yes, that's going to be fun. So stay tuned and we'll see you next time on the English Hub. Bye everyone. Manage your time, but don't forget to enjoy it too.
Bye! And remember, small steps every day make a big difference.